Mediaite has published an 8-minute-long video featuring MSNBC host Lawrence O'Donnell losing his patience with his crew. Now, this was leaked, and whoever leaked it is a bad actor. It's not cool, you shouldn't have done it. However, the video was awesome and a lot of fun. And I debated whether or not we should talk about this, and ultimately I came to the conclusion that we should. Because I mean,
I like that standard. If something is too fun, well, what are we gonna do?
Okay, look, I know that some people might look at this as, oh, it's damaging his reputation. No, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I'll let you judge for yourself. He did apologize for it via Twitter. I'll give you that apology in just a second. But first, let's get to the fun stuff, okay? We have a ton of clips. Let's go to the first one.
What's going on? Why am I losing this? Why don't I have sound? All right, it's back. Someone's pressing buttons and turning my sound off. Who's asking for a Labor Day rundown in my ear?
Okay, all right. Now, look, this is he's not on air, okay? But the cameras are always rolling. And when I was at MSNBC, I was cognizant of this. But you know, you
forget.
No, it's not even that you forget. It's just stuff's going on, right?
Yeah.
And so I'd get hungry because I'm running the whole day. I used to do the Young Turks 2 hours, MSNBC an hour. Like, so I'd be eating a banana off air. I was like, can't wait for these tapes to be released one day. I'm like, eating a banana, right? Anyway, so somebody has those tapes somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of feel bad for Lawrence here, and he's genuinely frustrated about things he probably should be frustrated. If you've never had an earpiece in your ear, it is super annoying. Now, of course, you get used to it. Anna's got one right now, and if somebody's constantly talking and you're trying to concentrate, it is grating. So that's my defense of him. And I'm with you, Anna. It's too amusing, and I feel bad. But like when he goes, you're like, oh no.
Oh, it's so good, but it gets better. Okay, so look, understand that when you're doing a live show, and you do a live show with an establishment cable news outlet, like there's so much pressure for everything to be perfect and polished, and you have to be that perfect little robot, right? Just like let loose, I get it, there's something going on with your ear, right? There's some sort of technological issue. Just be honest with your audience and move on with your life. It's not the end of the world, but he's conditioned to like freak out as soon as there's a tech issue. So, all right, that's just the beginning. Let's take a look at the next one.
God damn it.
10 seconds.
Get.
5, 4.
Sorry, Lawrence, sorry, but it is funny. Come on, when you okay. But that's to Anna's point, and that's why this actually is newsworthy. I mean, it's not just to pick on Lawrence, who's obviously having a bad day,
because you had a bad day.
But because TV's so fake, that's why like you go like, oh, and then the TV's on. All right, back on the program here. Right, which is exactly what O'Reilly did. Yeah, it's okay. You can come back on and be frustrated. At the top of this show, Anna told somebody to turn on the monitor here. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? The audience found out the monitor wasn't on. Everybody just bring it down, be human for a second.
Yeah,
and in fact, even the anger makes you more human.
Yeah, so, okay, I know he loses it, but this didn't make me dislike him. It just showed his human side, and you never see the human side of people. And it just made me appreciate him as a human. Like, it's okay, okay? We all have our meltdowns. It's not the end of the world. Let's take a look at the next one, though.
And tragedy, and into that tragedy today stepped the President of the United States.
23 seconds.
There's insanity in the control room tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna use that line from now on, and we gotta get that on the soundboard. There's insanity in the control room tonight.
Oh, his comments about the control room get better. Next one.
Someone in that control room is out of control.
I want that one on the soundboard too. And I'm gonna use it against you guys in the control room.
Oh man. Okay, so he's lost it. He's really upset. His earpiece still is not functioning properly, and someone tries to help him out. Here's his reaction.
Who had been missing since Sunday morning. You have insanity in my earpiece.
Another earpiece for you.
Don't leave it there. It's not my earpiece, it's somebody talking on our lines. Fuck.
10 seconds.
Fucking out of control shit.
Do it on air, it'll be fun. Do it live, we'll do it live.
What does it mean to play us out? That wasn't him, that was Bill O'Reilly. Okay, all right, now there's an issue with construction happening in the building, and Cenk has experienced this, and he has also lost his patience. So it brought back memories for me, made me very nostalgic. Take a look.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
I don't know. It's on a different.
Where's the hammer?
It's on a different.
Is it on the, go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering. Stop the hammering.
I think it's something downstairs.
I'll go down to the goddamn floor myself and stop it. Keep the goddamn commercial break going. Call fucking Phil Griffin. I don't care who the fuck you have to call. Stop the hammering. Empty out the goddamn control room and find out where this is going on. It's either there or out there somewhere.
It's either north or south or east or west of Tikrit. That's where the weapons of mass destruction, the hammer of mass destruction is. Okay, so you're right, Anna. Almost exactly what happened with me.
Yeah.
So again, Lawrence, we empathize in some ways, man, and so I know he's having a hard time now.
Yeah.
And yes, we're laughing, and everybody is. It's okay. You'll laugh one day too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so now I didn't do it on air, but there was literally drilling in the room above our heads when we were on, I think it was Air America at the time, and we're all doing online video too. But I got on the phone with the landlord and I let it rip.
I've never heard Cenk lose his temper like that. And you guys have seen him lose his temper on the show, so you've heard him get loud, but it was scary. Like it got real quiet in the office.
Okay, and I think, look, on this one, probably the reason it got leaked is because somebody didn't feel good about being yelled at. And they're like, I don't know if you know this, I have the tape. They're probably furiously trying to find who that is right now as we speak. And the issue there was that it at least appeared that he was punching down. And that's the no-no. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Because so when I was yelling at the landlord, I was punching up, right? I wasn't like randomly pick a person in the control room and be like, you some bitch, I'm coming for you. So, and to, again, over the top, like defensive Lawrence in a sense of that, like he's super frustrated and this thing's constant bomb, 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 bomb in his ear, and nobody's making it stop. And he's like, for some, I'm not making it up. There actually is hammering in my ear. Can someone make it stop? The Phil Griffin that he referred to is my old friend Phil Griffin, who runs MSNBC.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I should have that on the soundboard too. Somebody call fucking Phil Griffin.
All right, I want to skip ahead to the last video, video 15, because it just kind of summarizes all the things that went wrong. Take a look.
I don't know why I bother to say how to cut the slots when you don't do it. I just don't. I don't know why I just. So now I have to chase those stupid goddamn entrails that you allowed him to stick out there. Jesus Christ. Crazy fucking sound coming in my ear, this fucking stupid hammering. I told you why I wanted those fucking words cut. It just fucking sucks. It fucking sucks to be out here with this out of control shit. Any fucking thing can come into my ear at any moment. That's what I know. Anybody can get into my fucking ear at any time. Some woman talking about what we're doing after the show. Fucking guests' faces coming up in the middle of a fucking script.
Dude, like I'm so happy we don't have teleprompters, because you become a slave to that script. Right, you become so conditioned to read from a freaking teleprompter that like you forget how to be a human and just talk about the news like a human being. And by the way, like this is not his fault. That's just the model of television news. That's what they do. That's what you learn when you're in journalism school. You learn how to operate a fucking teleprompter as part of a journalism program, right? Like that is so old school, and not only disconnects you from the topic that you're talking about, it disconnects you from the audience. Just be a human, it's okay. The script, all right, some woman's face is popping up in your script on the teleprompter. It's fine, you know the story, talk about the story.
It's impossible not to laugh when he says that there's all these things coming in my ear.
Oh, come on.
Okay, it reminded me of the Star Trek where the bugs, the alien bugs go inside their ears and then take over their brains. Anyway, but it is a metaphor for overly produced television.
Yes.
Where there are all these different people speaking to you about what you should say, and it's so, well, they think it's well put together, but it's actually overly produced. So we don't, look, all of this is like the fun and games, like I've thrown pens down before, whatever, okay? And you had a bad day, we've all had bad days. In some ways, again, it makes us relate to you in more humor, but it's not allowed on TV. And everything has to be perfect, but it's like manicured in a way that's so artificial that we're vomiting the fakeness, and people can't stand it anymore. In fact, when I talk to people on the street about why they watch us when they come up to me, they all say the same thing: real, genuine. And then one of them just said in New York, it made me realize, like in hindsight, how much they're acting on TV.
Right.
And so Lawrence, I know a little bit, and he's a really smart guy and oftentimes fun guy, a really fun guy, right? And he's having a bad day there, but that's why so for me, it's not personal at all. I like him, but that's why I call most of the folks on TV news actors, not news anchors, because somebody's messing with his script, and it gets really frustrating. If you didn't have a script in the first place, that'd be a different scenario.
Right, and that's not to say that he couldn't be a news anchor. Like, I think that he does know the
he knows
the
a
subject.
ton. He's super
he's a smart guy. So I just feel like, look, I don't know what the repercussions would be if he decided, you know what, fuck the script. I'm just gonna do the news, okay, without the script, because I know what I'm talking about. I don't know if there would be consequences for that.
Oh, there are consequences. I was literally in that same seat. So this is really interesting, and we'll talk more about this in the post game too, to give you the fuller story. tytnetwork.com/join to get the post game and become a member. Okay, but real quick. First of all, I remember when I was coming on right after Obama had given a live speech about the Egyptian revolution. And I said, look guys, I'm gonna keep it real with you on what Obama said. And immediately there was coming in my, immediately there was a producer in my earpiece saying, don't keep it real. Because there's a lot of fingers.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell you the full story like I said in the post game.
Don't keep it real.
Yeah, literally, that was a literal thing that was said to me. And so, why do they have prompters? One day I said, hey, look, man, I've been doing prompterless back then for 10 years. Well, let me go prompterless. They're like, no. I'm like, why? It wasn't that they wanted it perfectly produced. That was a huge part of the equation. But when you really peeled it back, it was because management reads the scripts ahead of time.
Yeah, they want to control it.
And that's right. And so the reason they have a prompter is so that you don't say anything off message, like against an advertiser, against politicians, that hasn't been pre-vetted. And that's the real problem of television.
Real quick, Lawrence O'Donnell did apologize for this. He said a better anchorman and a better person would have had a better reaction to technical difficulties. I'm sorry.
That's a great apology.
It is a great apology. I think it's a great apology had he been this crazy tyrant. I think he went a little too far. Like, you're fine, dude, it's fine. You're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
But it doesn't feel that way. I'm sure he's getting a ton of heat and everybody's making fun of him online. And so, yeah, it's bad. It feels really bad. Like I said, another thing I'll tell you in the postgame. One time, I got my sister in a lot of trouble, and I said, one day we'll laugh about this. She said, we will never laugh about this. And I think that's probably what Lawrence is feeling today.
Right.
But that's not true. One day you will laugh about it.
Yeah.
If you like this clip of the Young Turks, you know there's a whole live 2-hour show, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern every day, and you can download it or stream it and watch it without ads if you become a member. tytnetwork.com/join.